Hi there, welcome to Our Gamified World. I'm Adam Brown.
And I'm Danielle Teichne.
Today is, well, it's
Our last
episode 10.
episode.
Our last episode of Level 1. Thank you so much for joining us all the way through, if you have been. And, of course, please feel free to backtrack. It's all online, hopefully forever. And you can catch up if you like. But we thought today we'd do something a little bit different and not focus on a specific example or case study like we have been, but actually reflect back on the year that was. And think about what we have learnt in the process of not only learning about these various examples of gamification, but also learning through our own work of gamification, but also doing this series.
We've given a couple of workshops and conference presentations, and we've learnt a lot from the people that we've encountered across various different industries, whether that be social media marketing for business, whether those businesses be government or non-government, higher education, obviously. And there are different levels of understanding of gamification. There is still that grey area, is it a game or is it gamified? Oh, games have bad connotations. Learning can't be fun.
Exactly, but at the same time, even though it still kind of feels a relatively new and fresh concept for people, that even if they don't understand it, they're still, after they're told what it is and they see a few examples, they're really interested.
And they're living it, whether they know it or not.
Yeah, exactly. It's powerful. It's a really powerful phenomenon. It's really transforming the ways in which various industries are engaging with their multiple stakeholders in all different kinds of ways. I suppose one of the key things that comes out of a lot of the episodes we've been looking at is the importance of challenge and growth.
Personal growth. And how gamification can be used in a positive way to motivate people to build really great behaviours and deter bad behaviours.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily just for commercial purposes. There's a lot of applications in that context, but also particularly in the educational realm and defined broadly in terms of learning, not necessarily just in an institutional setting such as what we both work in, but learning on your own by self-learning processes with Habitica, Duolingo, all those kinds of examples.
But also community-based learning, which can also help people to maintain motivation. And in terms of motivation and then habituation, we sort of discussed previously that perhaps structural gamification can't really be used as a long-term sort of device. Maybe content gamification is a bit more powerful because it's a bit more relevant to the user. And it's a bit more immersive even. Yeah,
well, it certainly can be. And I guess there's pros and cons of both.
Yes.
I find that my structural gamification of my teaching, people crack the code, so to speak. They sort of solve the puzzle because they realise, okay, if this structural form of gamification gets you engaged and active and learning with and from your peers, then you think, well, these tiffets, as I call them, you've accrued these points and unlocking badges and getting extra unlockable content and all this stuff. The achievements aren't as great as the actual engagement and, in a learning context, doing what actually learning is supposed to be all about, and that is the reward in itself. So structural gamification can be sort of a temporary boost to push you over the edge, and that's sort of the challenge, the extra nudge that people need.
To take that first step.
Yeah, but I mean, there's obviously a key attraction to content gamification, and how game-like certain things can be and how immersive, but there's also huge obstacles in your situation.
Time-consuming to create, it is. And even content gamification needs constant renewal. So manpower, resources. Structural gamification is a lightweight, cheaper way to approach things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's right. And I guess another thing that I wanted to reflect on here is the learning by doing aspect of things, because that's a really key kind of philosophy, I suppose, a lot of teachers, but it's something I've taken on board over the last several years in my teaching, and it's all about learning by doing. You can't read about gamification alone to really understand it. And I even reflect on the way we've been putting together this series, in its level 1, and we've been doing fortnightly periscopes to fill in the gap between the episodes we release. And for the first 5, I think it was, we were holding the phone up vertically, and we could have been shooting in landscape to probably much greater effects. Even simple things like that, which I do in every other context, learning by doing. And we are hoping with level 2 that we're going to sort of level up and do something a little bit different, a little bit new. And so that'll be really exciting. And I think that a great thing to do is to really encourage people who are watching this to learn by doing in terms of gamification, because a lot of the things we've talked about, or pretty much everything, at least one of us has learnt by doing.
Get out there, download some apps that we've featured on the show. Even try and create your own system. We're always here to answer questions on Twitter or on YouTube or via email. So we'd love to help you with your collaborations.
Absolutely, please get in touch. And I'd also like to introduce someone who's been doing a lot of behind the scenes work throughout the Level 1 episodes, Dylan Hornsby, a filmmaking graduate. Extraordinaire, certainly. So jump in, Dylan, and certainly we'll make sure that everyone knows you as well. Dylan's featured on our website too. Thank you very much for all the work you've been doing.
That's all right. Thank you for having me on board.
No, it's been great. And I also wanted to sort of thank both of you on screen, because I've already used a word twice through this episode. No, thank you for all, your collaboration, first of all. But I've said absolutely twice already in this episode, and both of you were thinking, let's not try and laugh so much this time, Adam, because this is what happened earlier on in another episode. What did I say?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you were saying absolutely. It was a pun.
I thought,
oh, really?
That's what it sounds like.
No, I said already twice. That wasn't absolutely.
I thought you were saying
absolutely.
Absolutely. I was like, we're talking about a language and learning
cool.
apps.
I can say that if you want.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'll say that. I'm naturally good at this stuff.
Thanks so much for watching.
And join us next time for Level 2, when we level up.
Aspects of a... Oh my God, it will happen. It will happen. To our guys.
Interested in... It's quite close, but you also did say week by week,
I
so
know.
I'm not sure
What
if you
the
want
hell was I doing?
to explore... engagement.
Whilst I'm promoting myself, let me promote another aspect of myself. The most important and groundbreaking... I had the right words, I just couldn't pronounce.
Hi there, and welcome to Our Gamified World.